because him and I call each other Chicken Head. I don't know how it ever started. I don't know why it ever started. It started several years ago, but for some reason, every time we greet each other, we say, "Hey, Chicken Head." So I brought him a Chicken Head.
Okay, Joni and I have been waiting for this time for such a long time. Oh, sorry. Joni and I have been waiting for this time for a long, long time. And we're only going to share a couple of things. We'll be nice.
No, we won't.
Okay, Joni's going to start it off.
Okay. Dan loved to torment us as kids. He chased us around with Daddy Longlegs, threw Daddy Longlegs at us, and to this day I have arachnophobia because of Dan. and Harold used to do it too. You taught him. And he also liked to narrate monster movies for us, like Godzilla or King Kong, and Godzilla would be smashing things, and Dan would be saying, "Don't, you took my city," and all these things, you know. It was awesome. And, okay.
Okay, Dan loved music from a very young age, and he just loved a lot of different instruments, and I don't remember if this was like 3rd or 4th grade. He had the opportunity to bring any instrument home. Mom says, "You love music, bring any instrument home you want." What does he bring home? The tuba. The thing was huge. Mom sees it and goes, "Out of all the instruments you could choose, you chose the tuba." So that sounded really cool while he was practicing it.
And Harold, our little brother, shared 2 memories about Dan. First, they had to share a bedroom the whole time we grew up because we had a 3-bedroom ranch, and the girls shared a room, the boys shared a room, and Mom and Dad had a room. And Harold said as he got a little bit older that he would be trying to study and Dan would start playing his instruments, so Harold couldn't study. That's what Harold remembers. But he did say that Dan always kept his cool. He was not a hothead. Even when Harold did things, he never really got very upset with him, that he was just a great brother. And he didn't like cheese when he was growing up. He really didn't. No.
Only pizza.
Who knew? He'll eat pizza cheese, but he didn't like cheese, so Mom would buy those Kraft macaroni and cheese boxes with a little powdered cheese in them. And Harold and I loved cheese, and Dan didn't. So he would get 1 box, he'd take out the cheese and put it to the side for us. He'd eat the noodles buttered, and then we'd get double cheese mac and cheese.
So Dan was hungry a lot as a teenager, and most teenagers are.
Don't forget the Pop-Tarts.
Oh, we love Pop-Tarts, yes, we love Pop-Tarts all the time. So he would go into the kitchen and make himself some pasta, because he loved pasta. Sorry, I have to share this. So one day, I go into the kitchen, and he's there, he's stirring something in the pot. I'm like, I'm over there, and I look in there, because I wanted to see what he's making. I look in there, and there's nothing in there. I go, "What are you doing?" And he goes, "I'm stirring the water." And it was boiling. And I go, "Why?" And he goes, "So it boils evenly." Sorry, bro.
Sorry about that.
They're not really smart.
And in the early days of Jane and Dan, one time Jane and Jenny and I decided, because Dan was taking a little nap, and we decided to tie him up like Gulliver to the bed. And so we got yarn, right? Wasn't it yarn we got? Some of Mom's yarn? Got some of her yarn balls, and Jenny was on one side, and Jane was on the other side, and I was under the bed, and we just started roping him around and around and around and around. We got him all tied up good. And at one point, he opens his eyes, he sits up, all the yarn goes away, like he just pushes it all off. Like, and we worked really hard to get it tight, but he got it right off. He looks at us, and then he lay back down and went back to sleep. All that for nothing.
Oh, Dan was so smart academically. I wanted to be like my bro. I wanted to be the same. He told me one day, because I was really struggling with one of the subjects, and he said, "Put the textbook under your pillow and the knowledge will transfer." It didn't work.
Works for me.
And I was looking through the yearbook, and Dan and I painted one of the pictures. I have this picture up there. in the yearbook, he was in a lot of things, anything to do with music, every choir thing, every band thing. He was in all different bands, the choir, New Jersey Regional Choir, the jazz band, the woodwind quartet, productions like Guys and Dolls, Sound of Music, and of course, marching band. As a senior, he was in the marching band. Well, he was in the marching band all 4 years, but the senior year, they wanted him to be drum major. He was awful cool. There's some pictures up there, so him as a drum major. And he really got into his music. He would be up on that podium, and every group would get directed at just the right time. And he started this thing where at the very last note, he would jump off of that podium and land on the ground and end the music by jumping down off the podium. It was the coolest thing ever, and like the band director just looked at him and goes, wow. And then we saw many competitions that I went to after that. The drum majors were doing that. He started this new thing. He leaped off the platform. Yep, he really did. And Mr. Soest was the band director back then, and he really took to Dan a lot. And when he retired, he gave Dan his director's baton. That was pretty cool. Yep.
And on a more serious note, when I became a Christian in 8th grade, because we didn't, at the time my parents we weren't raised that way. I mean, they weren't bad or anything, we just weren't brought to church, that's all. And they became a Christian later. But I met a boy in 8th grade, and I went to church with him, and I became a Christian, and one day at church, I met Dan. Dan was there, and I said, what are you doing here? And he goes, what are you doing here? And that started something where every Sunday morning we would go early to church. I remember we went over to whose house? The Van Natta's house. And we would have breakfast with them, this nice couple. We'd have breakfast with them, and then we'd go to church. And then I joined the church choir, and it was just such a special time to be able to go with Dan and I.
And the same, I was wondering what was going on. I saw, my brother, my sister, and I noticed there was a big change in Dan. And I'm thinking, what is going on? He's being nice to me. And I was like, what is this? So that was the example that I needed too. I wanted to see what was going on at Grace Church, and I went there and also gave my heart to the Lord. So thank you, brother.
And when Mom and Dad passed away, it'll be 3 years this year, right? It'll be 3 years. Dan stepped up to the plate. He really did. He did all of the legal stuff, all of the paperwork. He took time off work to go to court. He went back and forth with the lawyer. We all went to the cemetery to do the planning, but he did the lion's share of everything. And when it came time to split up the estate, he went 4 ways exactly, and we kept telling him, Jenny and I were telling him, you should take more because you took time off work, and you did all this work, and he wouldn't hear of it. Everything went 4 ways. He just was the best. And so because he's now the head of the family, we call him Abradan.
We're so proud of our brother. That's awesome. And he was the example to Dad, as many of you know. He would take time after a very busy week, working week. He would take Saturday mornings, right, and go and walk with Dad, because that's what Dad liked to do. At the mall, they would go and walk, and then they would go for breakfast at the diner. And that meant so much to my dad, our dad, that he took that time. He could have been resting Saturday morning, but he didn't. He got up, and my dad loved to get up early, like Pastor Jimmy gets up early, very, very early. Their body is just used to getting up early. He's on that schedule. And he would get up early and go to breakfast. And he did something that Dad liked. And eventually Dad says, I want to do something you like. I want to go to your church. And we all know that transformed him greatly. And our bro's a hero. We love him. Happy 60th, bro!